Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming award-winning athlete, Olympic gold medalist, advocate, and mom, Rebecca Lobo.
Thank you. Thank you. You're not supposed to stand until the end of my speech because it'll be that good. I know all of you, the men at least, were thrilled when they said take out your phone and start donating. Really, what's the score? My husband told me 1-1 bottom of the third. Is it still? Okay. Thank you so much to the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the other inductees and everyone being honored here tonight. The part that they cut out of the video when I was talking about playing basketball in the 3rd grade was that when my mother told them, you have to let Rebecca play on the boys' team, she followed it up with, when we went to the first practice, she said, I want you to treat Rebecca just like you treat all the boys. If they're running sprints, she's running sprints. If you're yelling at them, you're yelling at her. But if you go shirts and skins, please put her on the shirts team. Which I appreciated. Now, I have 4 children, 3 of them girls, and when my oldest daughter was about 5 or 6 years old, I was on the road for March Madness covering women's basketball. For my job, I talk about women's basketball. I watch a lot of women's basketball. And I was on the road, and my husband was home, and he was watching the UConn men on television. And so my daughter, who again was about 5 or 6 at the time, came in, and she looked up at the TV, and she said, Daddy, are those boys playing basketball? And he said, yeah, they are. And she said, I didn't know boys played basketball too. So how far we've come. Last week I was driving my kids home from school, and my youngest daughter, who just turned 6, who's in 1st grade, she was telling me about her day, and she said, Mom, today at school Katerina said, I'm voting for trumpet. And my daughter said, and I told her, I'm voting for Clinton. And I said, well, Rose, why are you voting for Clinton? And she said, because she's a girl. So we didn't have those options when I was a kid. Again, how far we've come and how the times have changed. I want to thank my table of people right here in the front. My father, who has taught me what it means to be a loving and compassionate and wonderful father. I want to thank my brother who is here, who he's the oldest, and then is my sister, I'm still younger, and then me. And when we were younger, he used to give my sister and me, each of us, a pair of these big puffy mittens, and then he'd ring the wind chime I had in my bedroom, and we boxed, until one of us started crying and yelled, you know, Mom, what? And my brother, they love you. And now it's perfect because he was sort of mediating us, and now he is a judge here in Connecticut. And he's 6'11", so if you get jury duty and you're told what to do by a 6'11" judge, it's most likely my brother. And we like to say that he played basketball at Dartmouth. We like to say that he got a lot of experience of learning how to sit on a bench for a long time with his college basketball career. My sister is here, and I appreciate her, even though when we were kids, she never let me borrow her clothes. With my job, I have to travel a lot, and I just got off a period during the WNBA playoffs where I would be gone for 9 days, and then home for a couple, and then gone. And during that time, my oldest, who's now in 7th grade, had a middle school dance, which is a really big deal. And I was on the road, and she said, Mom, now my daughter is 11, and she's 5'10", and she fits into my shoes. She said, Mom, I don't have anything to wear. And so I sure as heck wasn't sending my husband. And so fortunately, my sister, who never let me borrow her clothes, took my daughter out and got her a beautiful little dress for her 7th grade dance. So thank you for that. And my awesome husband, it's not easy being married to me here in Connecticut. Our neighbors we've lived next to each other 10 years. We go for walks or runs or whatever, we're going by, and without fail, Caitlin, who is 12 years old, whenever we go by, hi, Miss Lobo, hi, Mr. Lobo. And as progressive as we are, he still has not changed his name to mine. And I want to also recognize the spouses of my siblings and Sherry and my friends who are sitting here. Thank you so much for coming here to support me today. I want to thank the ESPN table, ESPNW, Tina Thornton, thank you for all your kind words. The St. Mary's School table, we have some people here from St. Mary's School, which is where my kids go to school. I love the environment they provide for my children, and all the parents understand when you send your kids off to school, they're out of your control, and I love what they're learning at St. Mary's. I also love that the first grade teacher did not correct it, and Katarina still thinks his name is Trumpet. And finally, I talked about her a lot in the video, but my mother was an absolutely amazing woman. My brother leaned over to me a little bit earlier and he said, "Mom would have loved this." And she would have loved this. She, before I knew anyone else was doing it, was advocating for women. She was the Title IX coordinator at her school before most people knew what Title IX was, and she was fighting for things. She was fighting so that I could play on the third grade boys team. She was fighting for her students at school. She was always fighting for what was right for women. And so for everyone being honored here tonight to the Connecticut Women's Hall of Fame, I thank you for doing the same thing. Mom, you would have loved it. This is for you. Thank you.